Welcome back. This week we're at Trial Mountain for a human comedy endurance race. And the car we don't have much choice in taking is the BAC Mono. Now, this race is meant to be pretty straightforward. All we got to worry about is the car stepping out on us, which can be resolved with good throttle control. Ah, crap. And sadly, that lack of throttle control is not only limited to video games. Right, well, we're gonna have to do our best to try and tune some of that out and baby-proof this car for me. And this is what I've come up with. Hopefully the suspension setting can keep the tyres on the road so that I can actually put down some power, as we're not going to be running any traction control, and keeping up with my opponents is a key part of my strategy for winning here today. So with that, let's head over to the track and see how we get on. Alright Mono, we are starting a long way back. And before we get to the start line, we got to get through the dreaded slow speed S-bend, which surprisingly we get through easily, even gaining on the opposition. Now that was unexpected. But hey, it means it's opened up a whole new area with where we can make moves on our opponents. But that's a whole other lap away. For now, let's push forwards. Right, we've made one position, and the car has been doing a great job of keeping traction as we make our way through the track. Now, once I leave second gear, this car is going to be spending its entire time in the red line, as these gears are incredibly short. That may not be good for the fuel economy. I guess we'll just have to see if it can make its 10 laps before we head in for our first pit stop. Speeding out of the tunnel, we spot our next target, and it's only a single hairpin later that we've closed the distance, ending up right on the heels, if only for a moment, before we spot a gap, moving ourselves up into 14th. Now we have a whole cluster of cars in front to take care of. First up is to dive on the inside of position 13, easily putting him out of the way so we can focus on that duo up in front. And with the help of the tight S-bend, we end up with a good run down the final straight, allowing us to slowly but surely move up to 11th. Next up on our list is the final double-digit car, position 10. And with each corner we take, we slowly close the distance until we are right behind him. But as usual, not for long, because as soon as that opportunity pops up, we dive on the inside, easily taking the position and shooting off down the long straight. And with that, only 9 more cars to go. Is that 3 cars way off there in the distance? I guess we better go take a look. And as it turns out, yes it was. And now that we've closed the distance, it's time to think about making a move. And as we enter the final S-bend, I discover that rear-ending another car, not a viable overtaking strategy. Luckily, we've still got the raw power to push past, taking 9th, and shortly afterwards, moving our way up to 8th as well. Chasing after 7th, we don't quite get the overtake completed by the time we come out of the tunnel. You might think because it's an endurance race to just let it go, but endurance race is just code for long sprint, so we keep the power down, eager to take that position. Something we easily achieve as we enter the long straight, chasing down our next opponents. And as usual, it doesn't take long, because by the final section of track, as per usual, we find our next opponents. And as we slowly enter the S-bend, setting the trap, as we quickly cross over, powering ahead, with only the top 5 remaining on our hit list. As it turns out, this place doesn't put up much of a fight. Happily though, 4th place does. But after a battle through a decent portion of the lap, we come out on top, taking the position away from him and heading after our first podium spot. So with another good run through the final S-bend, we managed to enter the final straight with more speed than 3rd place, allowing us to push for an overtake and taking that bronze medal. And exactly 1 lap later, as we come down the final straight, 2nd and 1st are in the pits. So in this hour-long endurance race, we're in 1st within the first 15 minutes. All I gotta do now is last 3 more laps until it's time to pit. Now I've watched Widowmaker Who do this exact race on the exact tyres and pull out 11 laps. So why is it that after 8 3/4 I've already lost a tyre? And the situation doesn't get any better than that. And a lap later, I'm down a 2nd tyre. So that's both rear tyres fully gone, with 2 laps remaining before I'm meant to even hit the pits. That is going to be incredibly tough to pull off. At this point, I gotta suspect that I'm risking a spin here. Now I get he's a good driver, but at this point, I'm convinced he's an actual wizard to have made the tyres last that long. No, I can't do it. I've gotta pit. This isn't great. I'm looking to complete 29 laps, and that works out to 1 9-lap stint, and then 2 10s. So now I've already used a 9, meaning the next 2 stints have gotta be longer. My best course of action is probably to reduce my speed, keeping a lot of pressure off those tyres in the corners to extend their track life. A plan that seems to be working out quite well, until I got bored. At that point, the foot went down, and so did the tyre's lifespan. But hey, I'm racing for fun here. To exacerbate my problems, I come across back markers. Yep, swerving around them sure ain't gonna help. At least this time, I hit 9 laps before my tyres go. And while that's still not ideal, it is an improvement. It also allows me to discover that even without tyres, this car's not too bad to drive. Sure, I'm losing speed with the sliding, but it's not like I feel the car's gonna spin me in circles. With this knowledge, it gives me the confidence to push on for 10 laps before we enter the pits. Our final stop for fuel and tyres, knowing that we've got 10 laps remaining. And you know what? I'm gonna have fun with them. If the tyres go, we've got enough of a lead that I can just slide through to victory. And in the meantime, I'm gonna have good practice on the track. We're 9 laps into our final stint, and our first tyre goes, causing a little bit of instability, but nothing major. It's not till we hit the final lap that things really get interesting, as we throw our car around the final section of track. If you enjoyed the race, please like and subscribe, it really helps. Ending up on the final straight, sliding across the line for about a 1 minute and 20 second victory. Thanks a lot guys, see you next week.